Alright guys, this is going to be my review of Transformers War Within, Volume 2, The Dark Ages. Now, this comic is if you don't know what Transformers War Within is, they were pretty much a Dreamwave comic that was supposed to be like a comic book that followed what was supposed to happen before Transformers Generation 1. Like, it was supposed to be one big prologue. And then it kind of went on for about, 3 series, and then it got, the Dreamwave ended because the asshole creator, the assholes behind it, Dreamwave, kind of took a lot of money, and you know who could explain it better? The abomination, what happened to Dreamwave? Linkara. Linkara can explain it a hell of a lot better than I can. Let's just say some assholes ran it into the ground, and they got reprinted under IEW. And yeah, Transformers War Within, The Dark Ages. Now, this comic pretty much kicks off with Optimus Prime and Megatron falling into a space bridge and disappearing, and out pops the Fallen. As in, yeah, not the one from Transformers, from the Michael Bay movies. Don't worry, this Fallen actually, believe it or not, this Fallen came first before the other Fallen. Now, this Fallen is a lot different from the shitty-ass one we saw in the second movie. This Fallen is a being of pure dark energy, and he's an avatar of, believe it or not, Primus. And in this universe, it's kind of hinted at that Primus is a total dick, because apparently the Fallen speaks for Primus. It's hinted at. They don't really call it. They don't really give by name, but he's trying to say your creations have failed you. You're an angry god now, and and then he tries to say Primus before the Fallen's destroyed. Spoiler alert. There you go. But yeah, it's kind of hinted at that Primus is pissed off that his creations have been fighting for so long. Now, with Optimus and Megatron gone, that's the first thing you see in this comic is Optimus and Megatron going into a space bridge and being vaporized, apparently dying. But we all know they don't die. But what happens is that now there's splinter groups of both Autobots and Decepticons everywhere. Like like before, this comic is very much on Grimlock. Grimlock is a big part of this comic, much like he was in the first volume. Only this time around, Grimlock is pretty much, along with the other soon-to-be Dinobots, and along with Cup, they've pretty much created, not the Dinobots, because they're not Dinobots yet. They've become the Lightning Strike Coalition. They're kind of like a vigilant. They're kind of like the Tea Party of the Transformers. They're pretty much like the Tea Party of the Autobots now. They're these angry. They're angry. They hate everyone that isn't an Autobot, and they're kind of assholes. And Grimlock is a very powerful opponent, and he also has some great lines in here. Meanwhile, we have Prowl, who's now in charge of the main Autobots, and we've also got Starscream, the leader now of the Predacons, and Shockwave, now head of the Decepticons, and Ratbat, who's now leading the Ultracons. Yeah. Try to keep your head, try to follow. Meanwhile, while this is going on, the Fallen has enlisted the aid of Bludgeon, Bugly, and Mindwipe, 3 Headmaster characters who in here are cultists who are trying to unlock ancient power, and the Fallen has, ordered them to go out and find 4 unique Transformers to unlock ancient power. And those 4, one of them is Grimlock. Another person I should mention who plays a very big part in here is Jetfire. Jetfire plays a very big part in this comic as well. And also Shockwave. Shockwave plays a big part in here as well. And Starscream only has 3 panels of screen time. It's not like last time where he was like, hey, Starscream's going to play a big part in this comic book. Not in this one. He's only in here only to get his Energon jacked and to get the shit beat out of him later on. It's mentioned that he gets the shit kicked out of him by the Predacons. So another character this focuses on, and this is a very interesting concept, is the Combinders. The Combinders devastate the Constructicons and the Protector Bots, who become Defensor. Now, the reason I bring this up is because they play a special role that apparently it was signed by Autobots and Decepticons that Combinders were not supposed to be non-allied groups. They were supposed to be they were supposed to be they weren't supposed to be used by either faction, because they're kind of like, combinders are now kind of like the weapons of mass destruction by either side. Whoever holds them has a lot of power. And when Devastator joins Rat-Bat, he really tips the balance of power, and everyone's freaking out. And then that's when the Protector bots are pretty much like, dude, we've got, Streetwise and Groove and the others are like, shit, we got to do something. So they form Defensor, and they have to fight Devastator. So it's a very interesting thing, because Springer brings this up to Rat-Bat, that he has literally fucked up the whole system. Now that the Combinders are going to, because of Devastator choosing a side, the other Combinders are going to start choosing sides. Bruticus and Menasor and so many others there's a good chance that, Combinders are now that Devastator and Defensor have picked their sides, there's going to be other Combinders joining together. Not with factions, because we know they can join together with each other. And it's so cool, because later on, also getting back to Grimlock, there's this great scene with Grimlock where where Grimlock is facing off with the Fallen, and he's like, "You are too unintelligent to face me." And Grimlock knocks him out and goes, "Why does everyone underestimate me?" And it's so cool, because Grimlock he's brutish, but he's also very intelligent, and he really hates Jetfire, because they pretty much bring up that Jetfire was a Decepticon who changed sides to become an Autobot, and Grimlock didn't like that idea, nor did a lot of other people. But all in all, this is pretty cool. We get characters like Blitzwing, we get characters like Trypticon is in here, it's really awesome to see Trypticon. And, we get a mention of Primus and Unicron, we get, mentions we get word drops of Till All Are One, and I'll say this, who actually comes up with Until All Are One is not Optimus Prime. Believe it or not, Shockwave comes up with that line, and to which Prowl goes, "Hey, that's pretty catchy. I hope we use it more someday." Yeah, so you can thank Shockwave for coming up with that line. But all in all, this is pretty good. The artwork's a lot darker than the other one, which was a lot brighter. This one is very cool. This comic is very interesting. It kind of just hits the ground running, right, with, okay, Optimus Prime is gone, and so is Megatron, and okay, I guess this is happening now. Oh well. But all in all, I did like it. Not as much as the first volume. I did like the first volume, because I felt like the first volume, you could read that comic and just be like, okay, now I can watch some Transformers. That would be totally fine. This one just kind of adds on more, and I haven't been able to read the third volume called Wrath, which I don't know if that actually got completed or not before Dreamwave went under. But anyway, and also this was written by Simon Furman, who, whenever Simon Furman writes a Transformers comic, I'm in, because I call him the Chris Claremont of the Transformers universe, because a lot like Chris Claremont, Simon Furman really constructed a good Transformers universe. He really expanded on the Transformers mythos, much like how, and he really developed these characters, much like how Chris Claremont did. So I gotta give a lot of respect to Simon Furman. But anyway, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you can find this in trade, I'd suggest getting it. If, as long as you've read the first volume, please read the first volume at least. But then again, there isn't really a lot of correlation between the two. Shit, you could actually read this and not have to read a lot of the first volume. You could really read this as a standalone, more or less, because they don't really bring up what happens in the first one. The really thing you only see is Optimus and Megatron going to the space bridge and vanishing, and then, oop, here comes the Fallen. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm out.